Everybody, I am re-recording this video because my laptop turned off mid presentation yesterday, so I wasn't able to save my recording of everything we did. So I'm just going to be trying to re-record and give you a little rundown of how to create your organizations and whatnot. Going to give you a little rundown on GitHub and then creating branches as well. I think I'm just going to be dividing all three of those segments up into like three videos. So this one video will be solely on like just creating your organization, your repo, and setting up rules, you adding your collaborators and all that good stuff. Cool. So first things first is when we go to GitHub, you've seen this page. This is like your main page that you first go to. So from here, this is where we can start creating our organization. Cool. Chill. So if you go up to right here, the top right corner, right next to my name, you'll see this little plus. If you click on that, this little drop down menu comes down and we can see you could create a new organization. Cool, so let's go to that. And from here, we start creating it. So first things first is you want to start with your organization name. In my case, I'll probably name it project-1-NU. And cool, it's telling me it's available. After that, they're prompting you to give you an email just because, they have these three like options for you where you could pay 9.21. We're more just going to focus on the free one. Cool. So now after we put in our email, we want to tell it, is this a personal account or is this for a business? For us, it's just going to be personal, so we have to check that off. And that's everything we need for now to get started. Cool. So now let's go on to the next step. We click this create organization, and it's going to prompt us now to add who you want to add to this organization. So let's see. I am going to add my boy Dave right here. Simply click the invite. Cool, invited right here. Now let's add Paul. PZ, I believe it was. Yeah. Cool, let's invite him as well. Cool, so once you've invited all your team members, you can complete the setup. Cool, so once we've completed the setup, it's going to take it to a screen like this. And from here, you can see all those people that you've added. They haven't accepted my invite yet, so, totally chill. More importantly, we can start creating our repo in here. So, right here, we just create a new repository, and this should seem fairly similar. You guys have been doing this for your homework assignments. This shouldn't be anything new, right? Start naming your repo, project1. Again, initializing it with a README, and simple enough, right? Cool. So let's go ahead and create that repo. So now that you're in your repo, you've all seen this. This is where things start to get a little different. So we want to go into settings. You want to add your collaborators to this team because we've only added them to this collaboration or organization, I'm sorry. We haven't actually told them who's going to be working on the code in this specific repo. So you go to your settings, you go on the left hand side where it says collaborators and teams, scroll down a little bit and it'll give you a little search bar where you could directly start looking for the people. So I want to add Dave to this. Simple enough. Boom. And let's add Paul as well. Ah. Hmm. Cool. I guess we aren't adding Paul. More importantly, you can see right here, I've added Dave, and I can give him permissions. Admin, he gives all the rules. He's allowed to do everything. Read, he could only read. He can only clone, but he can't do pull requests or issues. You know, can open and okay, cool. So he can do pull requests, but he can't be pushing code to here. So for our purposes, let's just say he could write. And writing, I can see right here it says can read, clone, and push to this repository. Can also manage issues and pull requests. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. So now that you've added, hopefully, all your team members right here, let's start setting up our rules for master, right? Because we never want to directly affect master. So on the left hand side, right under the collaborators and teams, we have a separate tab called branches. From here, it gives us a default branch, whatever little option. We could go right here on the right hand side and say add a rule. Cool. So once we add a rule, the first thing we need to do is tell it what branch we're trying to protect. What branch are these rules going to be set in place for? In our case, it's going to be master. Cool. So now that we've told it what branch we're going to set these rules for, let's go down and actually set those rules. So the one rules that we're looking for is require pull request reviews before merging. All this is saying is before you push your code into master, you're going to have one of your teammates review your code, make sure everything looks nice and clean, right? Because master should always be working at all times. And from here, you can choose how many people you want to review. In our case, just keep it at one. Keeps it simple, sweet, cool, chill. All right, so now that we have required pull requests, we want to make sure those rules apply to whoever made this organization and repo. Cool, so let's go over this again. We go to branches. Once you're inside branches, you want to tell it what branch you want to set these rules for. And then once we start setting the rules, we want to make sure we check off require pull requests and we include ourselves in these rules. Perfect. So now we can create. And if you see, we go back into the branches, you see branches protection rules. And it says it currently applies to one branch, which is master. Cool. So I think that should be it for this video. I'll probably try to record the next video on a little rundown on GitHub.